Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and we already know that prices, payments, and interest rates are sky high right now. But generally, the biggest challenge for pretty much any new home buyer is saving enough money for the down payment. And something that kind of got brushed under the rug is just how much the requirements of down payments have gone up. In other words, you guys, there's certain metro areas where it takes roughly, listen to me, over $700,000 down just to afford a home. The amount of money that it requires right now to purchase a house requires most people to put their entire life savings down on a home just to qualify. I mean, seriously, think about it, you guys. The housing market is so broken and so toxic that a normal 20% down payment just isn't enough anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous. So again, if you're buying right now, not only are you going to be buying at one of the worst time in history to purchase, but the requirement is your life savings. So if you want to throw your life savings into buying an overpriced house, well, this is the housing market for you. But you guys, don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as someone that is sad right now because this is one of the last recordings that I'm doing in the studio. You guys know that I'm forced out of this rental. And the thing that sucks is all of these life events, each life event that happens to me and my family, it hits my purchasing power. My purchasing power is affected. Obviously, there's moving costs. We're displaced. We're locked into another 1-year lease. So life happens, guys. And when life happens, a lot of times we need to have cushion, right? We need to have cushion. I'm in a mold house. If I didn't have money saved, I would be stuck living in a mold house. So the point I'm trying to make is if you're going to purchase a house, whether it's now or 2 years from now, never, ever go broke buying a house. Take a look at the article. And you guys, I'm not joking. When we read this and what it requires in some metro areas, you guys are going to be blown away. And this is just more and more evidence just piling on top of each other that is telling us, to the people that are paying attention, that are reading the writing on the wall, that this is not, it's not sustainable. You know this if you went through the GFC, or if you're in a market like I'm in a market here in Houston and Texas. I've seen prices go down outside of the GFC. Home prices go down. It's normal anytime the value goes up way too much at the same time that income either goes down or does not keep pace. It happens every single time. Why would this time be different? Seriously, if you think it's not going to crash, comment below. Tell me why this time is different than the last 150 years of history. Why is this time different? Seriously, I want to hear from you. I'm looking forward to it, actually. Now, this is a Fortune article titled, "Say Goodbye to the 20% Down Payment." Zillow says you'll need to put down roughly, you guys ready for this? 35%. So 35% down, or almost $128,000, guys, to afford a typical home. Now, I want to ask you guys a serious question. If you've already owned a home, I want you to go to the comment section below and tell us, okay, in your very first home, what was your down payment? Because I'm going to be honest, guys, the first 2 homes that I purchased when I was 20 years old and then 21 years old, I had 0 down. Back during the GFC, when I first became a young adult, the lending standards were such where I had, again, 0% down. So think of these young adults right now that are wanting to purchase. They're dead in the water. But again, comment below. I was 0% down. How much down did you put? Now, the second question I have is, when you graduated college, did you have $128,000 liquid saved, or did you have $128,000 in school loans? You guys, here's the thing. If you're fresh out of college, I don't care, 3 years out of college, let's say, you don't have $128,000 saved. It is literally impossible for, say, 99% of young adults to buy a house right now. And that's why I'm constantly saying things will correct. Things will adjust just like it does every single time. Now, the probability is going to be prices. Obviously, prices should go down. Now, it's been frustrating because of the inflation that is in the market. Unfortunately, the inflation is causing us to be in the situation of paying for longer. But either way, you guys, I'm really interested to hear from you. And I want to add on to that second question. All right. What age were you when you saved your first $100,000? And maybe you haven't even saved that much money, but seriously, guys, how old were you when you first saved $100,000? And then ask yourself this question: is it fair? Is what's going on right now fair for young adults? The answer should be no. All right, we're about to jump into this article right now. And again, you guys are going to see some extremely shocking, like mind-blowing data as I get through this. Thinking about buying a home, you might be in for a rude awakening. A 20% down payment is no longer enough for most people to afford monthly payments. Not when home values are 45% higher than before the pandemic and mortgage payments are roughly 115% higher. And they fail to acknowledge, while the same time that happened, real income and real wages went down, not up. But again, you guys, normally the most difficult thing for first-time home buyers is saving the down payment. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you things that I'm doing to put myself in a better situation to save. Now, this goes on. Down payments have always been important, except during the GFC, where you didn't have to have any money down, like I just said. But in the current market, where interest rates remain high and volatile and home prices are stable or rising, boosting the amount you put down can make the difference between a home that's affordable and one that's not, Zillow says. But I got to tell you guys something. It's really the price and the interest rate. Putting additional money down does help your payment, but not as much as you would think. What really needs to happen is the interest rate and prices need to go down. And odds are, you guys, if we go into recession and you maintain your purchasing power, odds are we'll be able to purchase real estate in most markets or in many markets at the same time that prices and interest rates are going down, not up. People are buying right now at the same time prices and rates are going up. I want to buy when prices and rates are going down. But the thing is, remember, you guys, you can still, as long as you have access to MLS and understand simple math and do your subdivision analysis, you might, don't hold your breath, but you might be able to find a great deal right now. The reason I'm telling you guys that is if you're not doing anything right now, learn how to buy real estate. How do you do that? Well, one way is I made a free home buying course. All right, now we're going to go into some of the metro areas. The analysis looking at major metropolitan areas found home buyers earning the median income need to put down 35.4% down payment, which equates to almost $127,750 to comfortably afford payments on the typical home in America. And a lot of the viewers, they've never saved $100,000. So how is a kid, again, out of college, going to be able to afford a home? And all we're talking about, guys, is the down payment. We're not even talking about the payment or the price, just the down payment. The housing market's in bad shape. Now, comfortably in this case means you're spending no more than 30% of your typical income. Now, remember, you guys, they're going off of gross income, which is completely foolish because you don't bring home gross income. You bring home net income. So the reality is they're using more like a 40% debt to income ratio, not a 30% debt to income ratio, because the way they're calculating income, as a loan officer, we calculate based on gross income. I think it's foolish to do that, but that's how it's done. So your mortgage payment, property taxes, and insurance. Anyone who spends more than 30% of their income on housing is considered cost burdened, and severely cost burdened is when housing takes up more than half of your income. And remember, guys, on FHA, you can go up all the way to 56.99% of your gross income, meaning that more than half of your income can be going towards paying your mortgage, your gross income. But there's a front and a back end debt to income ratio. Either way, what I'm saying is it's real bad to buy a house right now overall. Now, in May, the value of a typical home was $360,000, and the typical monthly mortgage payment apparently was only $1,931 after the 20% down payment. And that can't be including taxes and insurance. Now, this goes on in more expensive markets where home values have long outpaced incomes. Middle income households need an even bigger down payment share on top of the bigger price tag. And you guys are going to freak out now. Take a listen to this, guys. In Los Angeles, the average household needs to put down 81% to purchase a house, which equals $780,000 to afford the typical home and its monthly payment. She called that percentage the highest in the nation, nearly impossible. Now in San Jose, they need to put down 80.9% or more than $1.3 million. There's no one, you guys, unless you're a kid that is born in a rich family and your parents pay for your entire life, which you're probably not going to be, loving life, probably going to be a spoiled brat. It's impossible to make $780,000 or 1.3 million. How can you do that? Seriously, I mean, you can't. There's no way to do that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Take a look at this, guys. Now in New York, so California is the worst off, but in New York City, median income households would need to come up with more than 60% down. Insane. Now in Miami, they'd need to come up with 64% down payment, and the list goes on. Now, a median income household in Seattle making around $116,000 would need about $462,000 to lower the mortgage enough to comfortably afford the payment when the home is worth $753,000. They can't even get a loan for $300,000. You guys, if you make $116,000 in Seattle, you can't even get a $300,000 house. Think about what I'm saying. It is so broken right now. Man, I mean, props to the government for printing enough money and propping it up. I mean, but how long is that sustainable before the wheels fall off? Now, it would take almost 24 years, you guys, to build up that kind of savings in a household if you save 10% of your income every month and that cash account generated a 4% return. Almost nobody is doing that. Almost nobody. You guys, I feel so bad for the young adults. Now, Olson continued with another example. In a more affordable market like Atlanta, a median household would need more than $118,000 saved for a 30% down payment on the typical home valued at $387,000, which would take roughly 10 years to save. Again, if you save 10% of your paycheck. And you guys, seriously, do me a favor. Another question. I want you to comment below. Seriously, do you guys save 10% of your paycheck? Personally, I save as much of my paycheck as possible. If I can save 60%, I will, but a lot of times I can only save 0%. But seriously, are you guys like specifically targeting a percentage of your paycheck, and are you guys saving that? Because if you are, I'm proud of you. That's a heck of a thing to do. Props to you. Very, very smart. Now, this is some really interesting data as well, you guys. People across the country already struggling to come up with just the 20% down payment. In fact, it's not even the average down payment. The National Association of Realtors found the typical down payment ending June 2023 was just 8% for first-time homebuyers, not 35%, and it's 19% for experienced repeat buyers. So for the experienced buyers, it's 19%, but yet the average is 35% to make it affordable, which means most of the people that are purchasing right now are purchasing homes that are so unaffordable, their brains can't even fathom it. They can't even wrap their mind around it because, and if you're a millennial, then you've never experienced what an overpriced house even is, and you've never even experienced unemployment. That's not good. And they often rely on outside help. Last year, 43% of buyers used a gift from family or friends for part of their down payment, according to Zillow. And honestly, guys, you know what? I'm jealous. No, my parents did not help me at all with the house. They helped me learn how to make money and helped me become a great worker and learn how to be disciplined, and go after my goals, but they never helped me with the down payment. Another question, have your parents helped you with the down payment? Be honest, I want to know. Comment below. Now, there's only 10 out of 50 major metropolitan areas where a household earning the median income can put less than 20% down and still have an affordable payment. Now, most are in the Midwest where home values have largely grown at a strong clip in recent years. Basically, we're in an everything bubble, but some of these cities are Austin, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Raleigh, and others where median income household can put 20% down. The relative affordability in these markets is a big reason why many of them were boom markets during the pandemic and likely will be in the future, she wrote. If so, they may not be considered affordable for much longer. But like I've been saying, is every metro area pretty much got hit. Couple of them not as much, like El Paso in Texas here, when you look at median income. So it's still a little bit more grounded, but overall, everyone got hit. And unless I'm wrong, are you in a metro area that didn't get hit like we all did as far as the unaffordability prices? I mean, seriously, comment below if you're in a metro area where it's still relatively affordable and tell us what metro area It is. Now, remember, you guys, I have an affordability calculator linked in my description if you want to play with that to kind of see how much you can afford. Now, I want to give you guys 4 tips on things that I'm doing in my own life right now to try to save as much money as possible. Because remember, you guys, if we can't save money each month, then we're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's why I'm saying, if you buy a house, don't go broke, because so many things happen that you may need $10,000. And if you don't have it, you can get in big trouble. So anyway, okay, I'm being completely transparent. You guys know I've already lost everything. I dug myself out of the gutter. I have great purchasing power now. So I've been doing things to kind of try to get ahead of the inflation. Now, the first thing that I did is I basically become, this is not, I don't really like saying this, but an unintentional landlord, meaning that I purchased a home and I moved, and instead of selling it, because honestly, guys, I don't believe in selling real estate. I believe in holding it. So I became an accidental landlord, and I basically moved because the neighbors, a lot of people don't realize that. People just think I moved to make money. I didn't. I moved to try to have a better life. It is what it is, guys. But again, I became an accidental landlord. And as a result of that, my existing mortgage, I have a 2.5% interest rate. So I can lease out my property for under market rent, and I'm still cash flowing. Okay. Because I have a new tenant now. I tried to sell. I didn't even get one person look at my house. Again, I listed my property to sell. I didn't even get one person. I'm in Houston. But anyways, guys, I'm making about $800 a month on that. Now, the second thing that I'm doing is I'm doing all of my spending on high cash back credit cards. So roughly from there, you guys, I'm getting about $200 back per month. Now, what I'm using is the Wells Fargo Active Cash. I get 2% back on all my purchases. Now, this is why I don't like Dave Ramsey and some of his credit card advice. Guys, I'm making $200 back a month, and I'm not getting charged any finance fees because I pay the balance off before it's due. So I avoid finance charges, but I get an extra $200 a month. I mean, it's a great thing. So that's $1,000 right there. Now, the third thing is I've taken as much liquidity as I can possibly find, which I'm telling you guys, it's not much. I'm not a rich person. I keep taking hits. It's adding up. It's taking a toll on me, but I put my liquidity in T-bills. I'm doing 1 month treasury bills right now. And right now I'm making about, unfortunately, because again, I keep getting hit in my purchasing power, I'm at about $150 to $200 a month. So those are the 3 things so far that actually generate a lot more money. Now, the fourth thing, and this may be the most important thing, re-budget. Okay, re-budget, specifically subscriptions. You guys, I just canceled so many subscriptions again. I canceled Bloomberg, Fortune, Market Watch, and all I have is Netflix now. I had to pick between Netflix and I don't know what the other ones were. But you guys, I'm saving an extra $400 a month. Me rebudgeting saved me more money than me investing in T-bills and using credit cards with high cashback amounts. I'm telling you that because that's how powerful rebudgeting can be. Now, other than that, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some new insights, value, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.